Hello everybody, it is Rude, and I would like to welcome you to my Delia guide. This is going to be very fast because I've done this a couple of times, but each time I always forget some important things, so if I sound lacklustering and if I just sound tired, that is the reason why. So we're going to go into the moves right now. We're going to talk about the first move here, which is Eclipse. Eclipse is Delia's guard. It is the best guard in the game. It is stronger than Fiona's guard. It is better than Fiona's guard. I know it sounds like I'm dissing on Fiona, but everything with this guard is pretty much better than her. With this guard, each time you guard, you'll get 25 SP back, which is a bonus. And also with this guard, you can block every attack. You can block AoEs. AoEs in every single attack except for unblockables, because of course that is self-explanatory. Now, you are going to have to master this. You're going to have to learn how to buffer your guard, which you can do with your normals. Each one of your normals can go into your guard very fast, so you got to learn how to buffer your guard and everything else. You can do it also from your smashes. You could do it also from your smashes. But that's one thing you gotta learn, is how to buffer your guards so you can actually get it out, because not every single boss will allow you to constantly attack them. Some of them will be aggroed on you, and pretty much that's what I do with my normals. This is also tips to give you some things on what I do, is that I use my normals to buffer my guard if it's needed. Depending on the situation, you're gonna need to buffer your guard. Remember, you can buffer your guard out of any of your normals and any of your smashes, except for your enhanced smashes, because you have to do the whole animation for that. So either way, going into the next move here, which is Gravity Hop. Gravity Hop is pretty much your dodge. The more in rank you have it, the more invincibility you will have, and the faster you will do it over and over. Now we're going to bring that into Meteor Impact here. Meteor Impact is your dodge smash. With this and Gravity Hop, you're gonna combine them. I call it the Meteor Hop because you are literally using two moves in one. Now you may see a lot of Delias do the movement to get around from place to place, right? You may see a lot of Delias do it, and vice versa. It is very simple on how to do that. What you are doing is that you are doing Meteor Impact and you are canceling with Gravity Hop. That is why I call it the Meteor Hop, because you're combining the two. So pretty much when you're doing Meteor Impact, you just do a Gravity Hop to cancel it. It is based on rhythm. If you can get the rhythm down, pretty much it will be very easy for you. Just like how it is with Lynn. When you try to dodge with her, you dodge and you click and you do left click over and over and over, so you can cancel the long animation of it. Now, it's the same thing like that. Same thing with Herc, and the same thing with Karak with his boxing. It's kind of like that. Simple. Now, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, since you're combining these two moves, you will have a lot of invincibility because of Gravity Hop. With this move here, Gravity Hop, you'll be able to dodge AoEs. But you're going to have to combine the Gravity Hop with your Eclipse at the same time. You're going to have to combine the Meteor Impact with your Eclipse. You will get the timing down to do everything by just playing the game and everything else. But yeah, sometimes you are gonna have to and like get it down so you can have the invincibility, then the block, then the invincibility, then the block, then the invincibility, then the block. You're gonna have to master that down. It's very, very simple and very, very easy. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do the movement in this game. You're gonna have to do a mixture of a lot of things, kinda. We will get into them when we get into them. But yeah, the Meteor Hop, that's what I call it. You could call it whatever. I like calling it the Meteor Hop because it sounds more badass to me. Now we're gonna go into the first smashes here, which is Solar Flare. Solar Flare, not a lot of Delias use this. Solar Flare does give you the Keen buff, and the Keen buff is a buff that increases your piercing with your enhanced smashes, which is your Rising and Falling Comet. The Keen, you're gonna either use most Delias use Star Bloom or Lunar Assault to actually get the Keen, and also a little thing we'll get into a second. Most Delias just use these two to actually get the Keen and reset the Keen buff. But you can also do it with your first smash, and a lot of Delias do not do this, but I do it. This is also a very good move for break off because it makes break off a whole lot easier. So yeah, it's pretty much your first smash. Not a lot of Delias use it, but yeah, I use it, and I think it's a very useful move. You can pretty much just do it as a quick way. Let's say you do Wild Star, right? Dodge out the way, get your quick keen, and then you have your Vigor buff and your keen buff right there together. That's usually what I do. Not a lot of Delias do that, but that's what I do. Now, I'm of course gonna tell you how most Delias do stuff, of course. That's the whole point of this guide. But yeah, we'll get into everything else in a second. So pretty much, it is your first smash, and it says it increases the damage with the more rank you have it, but it does not knock down. That is a complete lie. It does not knock down at all. But since it is your smash, you might as well level it up. Now we're going to go into the second smash, which is Ring of Saturn. Ring of Saturn is your second smash. You're going to want to rank it up, of course, because of course it is your smash. Now, Ring of Saturn has two different moves out of it, two different extensions. Now you can do Star Bloom, and Star Bloom does the same thing, like your first smash, which is Solar Flare. It does the same thing. It does give you your keen buff and also resets the cooldown for your keen buff, but it also gives you stamina back. If the move hits, it will give you stamina back. Now the amount of stamina it gives you back is around 10 or 20. I don't really know right now for certain. Only thing I can tell you is that it gives you stamina back. So that's pretty much the usefulness of this move. Now, I'm going to give you a quick little tip right here, is that when you are doing Star Bloom, or Lunar Assault, I do recommend dodging out the way. Dodging out the way or blocking. Usually I don't recommend the blocking, but you can also do that. Because if you can see, the animation for that, you are in that animation for a very long time, and if you let it drag out, you'll be stuck in that animation. As you can see, you'll be stuck in that animation. It's about a second. If you cannot dodge out of the way in a second after it hits, you'll be stuck in that animation for a very long while, and you will most likely get hit. Now that's why I recommend dodging out the way. Just move with the flow of Delia, and you'll be able to like get it down each and every single time. Just move with the flow of her, and you'll pretty much get the dodge every single time. Just do know is when the hit connects. It's when the hit connects, you pretty much just do it. Or you can just do a quick little block also. That works. But usually I just dodge out the way and just continue with the meteor impact and everything else. Simple much, right? Now we're gonna go into the third smash here, which is your final smash. Your third smash here is Orbital Flurry. Orbital Flurry, the same thing with Ring of Saturn, has two extensions. You can do either the Lunar Assault, or you can do Falling Comet. Do know that the Rising and Falling Comet are the same thing like Lynn's enhanced smashes. The way how you're gonna get it is to delay it. Now do know you can delay these for a very long while. You can delay them for a very, very, very long while. So if you want to delay it, then by all means, go ahead. You can delay it for a very, very long while. Very amazing move. So yeah, explain that. Lunar Assault does the same thing like Star Bloom here, but it does give you more stamina. This about gives you like 50. No, not 50. This about gives you 20, and I think this gives you 10. I don't know the exact of how much it gives you because I don't pay attention, but they just give you stamina back. Lunar Assault usually gives you more stamina back than Star Bloom. Pretty simple. And when you get your keen buff, you'll pretty much do more damage with your piercing from your falling and rising comet. So yeah, going into the next thing, I already explained these two. Rising and falling comet are your enhanced smashes, also your second extension, and they're the ones that do the most damage. Not really much your smashes here, It is all based on your enhance and smashes here. So they pretty much do the same thing. The majority of Delias usually go for Falling Comet because it gives you maximum damage, and if you can combine that with an Ion Thrust, you'll pretty much get the maximum damage and everything else, and vice versa. So pretty much those two are kind of the same. Those two are the same in general. Now we're gonna go into this Cosmic Blitz. Cosmic Blitz does require 20 stamina. It is a sprint burst, but you can also do hold up, let me wait till that cooldown go. You can also do Ionic Thrust out of it, or you can do Falling Comet and then Iron Thrust. But do know that takes SP. That takes XP. It takes more SP from you just doing Falling Comet by itself. When you do stationary Falling Comet, you will pretty much lose stamina. When you do Cosmic Blitz and Falling Comet, you'll pretty much use SP. Simple much move. This is kind of one of your movement moves. You can pretty much put these together and you can get stuff like this, and then you can pretty much go right into back your smashes and another an Iron Thrust, and then another one that, then you can boost, and then that, and then that. You can pretty much put a lot of moves together if you want. So yeah, that's pretty much your Cosmic Blitz here. It is when you're active. It only requires stamina. If you have stamina to spare, that's the only thing it requires. Simple much as that. And you can pretty much do an Iron Thrust out of it and a Falling Comet. Falling Comet or Iron Thrust, or you can just like use it as movement to get around and everything else. Simple much like that. Very, very, very useful move. You're going to be using it a lot just to move around and position yourself so you can actually attack and just do damage in general. Now we're going to go into the next move here, which is Full Moon. Full Moon, there are two ways to do Full Moon. One of them will be removed in the future because of some particular reason. I don't know why, but that's just how they're going to do it. Full Moon, you can activate it from your guard when you block. You'll have it as a counter to do damage and also recover your stamina. Now, they're going to remove that later on in the future. So I'm saying like enjoy it right now. And the meanwhile, just enjoy it right now because they are going to remove that. I don't know why they're going to remove that, honestly. This pretty much is my last character guide on this game, and I haven't really looked up much on the game, honestly. I've been taking breaks and breaks and breaks, but I don't know why they removed that move. I'm not going to question it. It's just going to happen eventually, and the majority of us will just have to get used to it. Now, the second way to do it is pretty much just doing it by itself. You will recover 30 stamina back by itself, around 30 or 20 stamina back by itself. It doesn't really give you that much stamina. Now there's the other way to do it. There is let's just call it the third way. There is a third way to do it, and you can do it by activating the move and holding down right click, which activates 5/. And if all 5 slashes hit the boss or enemy, the last hit, which will be the Full Moon here, will give you your entire stamina back. So yeah, you gotta hit the boss 5 times with these normal swings to actually regain your entire stamina back. Now this move, once they remove it from the block, it's gonna be completely useless, honestly. You will not see a lot of Delias use it. In KR, not a lot of Delias use it. Some people just use it as troll, but honestly, it is going to be a dead move in the future. So right now, the moment in North America and EU, you might as well enjoy it to its full potential, because later on, it's gonna be useless. So that pretty much goes into that. Now, I usually would say do some crazy shit like this. Is that when you get the Full Moon down, do a Blitz. That and then vice versa, and etc, etc. Do know you can cancel it by doing a dodge or a block instead of being that long animation, because it is like this. As you can see, she's in that animation for a very, very long while, so pretty much you can just cancel it by either blocking or dodging. Simple. Now this move here, Wild Star, there are... You know what? We're gonna keep it simple. There are 3 levels of Wild Star. Honest truth, there's gonna be a multiple amount of people that are gonna say there are 4 charges, including the normal little smash like that. That ain't no charge. That ain't no charge at all. So pretty much there are 3 levels. I know there's gonna be somebody that's gonna complain, being like, but there is 4 levels. No, there is 3. So first charge knocks mobs into the air. They do area of effect damage where they fall. The second charge sends mobs in the air, but as they fall, they would do splash damage. And the third charge pretty much activates your supernova, which goes into Wild Star. Now, you're gonna use this to get your Vigor stack. There are 3 levels of Vigor. The Vigor stack increases the damage of your falling and rising comet here. Now, for level 3, you can only get hit 2 times before it goes down a level. For level 2, it is 3, and then for level 1, it is 4 before you lose the entire stack of Vigor. When you lose a stack of Vigor, you're just gonna use Wild Star, or Supernova I should say, Wild Star. You're gonna use Wild Star, and then you're just gonna hit the boss and get your stack of Vigor back. That's pretty much how it is. You are gonna get hit as this character. This character may not get knocked down when she's doing her smashes, but honestly, you will take damage, and you will lose that stack. So yeah, that's pretty much the first way of doing Wild Star. Now, Wild Star, there is a lockdown for this character. It is the Wild Star, of course. It is the third charge of Wild Star. Your lockdown, or should I say your hold, will only be activated when the boss is in a ground state or they're in a groggy state. Meaning that, since this move is so overpowered right now at the moment, you can pretty much do it at the beginning of a raid, when the boss is loading in, or when the boss does an attack. Let's take examples. Let's take Pantheon in Season 2. Pantheon, when he does his area of effect move, that usually kills everybody in the party if you have low defense. You can also block that with Eclipse and dodge out of the way with Gravity Hop also, because the iframes and the block is incredible. But yeah, let's take that as an example. Let's say he does his AoE. Once he's out of that AoE animation and he's in the tired phase, you can instantly do a Wild Star and get the lockdown. It is so cheap that I do it every single time. It is so cheap that I can do it every single time. Because let's take another example, Koleru. When Koleru is just loading up into the second phase. The second phase is when you're fighting the big giant golem. When he's loading in, you could do Wild Star, and you'll get your lockdown, which will activate the heavy heart effect. And the heavy heart effect is pretty much just a cooldown. It is 20 minutes. But yeah, you can easily do that. There is a lot of cheap ways to cheap out the boss with Wild Star, and it is very, very amazing. Now that brings into the next thing. Did we talk about Iron Thrust? Yeah, let's talk about Iron Thrust. Ion Thrust can be activated from doing Falling Comet, Rising Comet, or pretty much your Cosmic Blitz right after. Don't delay it, and you'll be able to do it. Let me show you right now, because I know there's gonna be people complaining about it. Let me show you right now. You can pretty much do it right after. Do know when you do Ion Thrust, you can easily go into your third smash and your no, you can easily go into your second smash and your third smash. Easy like that. You can easily go into your second or your third smash. Simple. Very, very simple. Just wanted to give y'all that little heads up. This move here has a lot of invincibility, so you can use it to dodge certain attacks and also certain unblockables if you do it at the right, no, not unblockables, certain AoEs if you do it at the right time. You can use that as a quick little dodge. Now, you don't have to do the entire animation of hold up. Let's get some more SP here. You do not have to do the entire animation of Falling Moon and You don't have to do the entire animation of rising and falling comet, because you can quickly just right click and go straight into the iron thrust. I'll show you right now. So you can just quickly do that, and you'll be able to avoid attacks. Usually most people would just do this if like the boss is about to hit them and they want to avoid the attack. So you can quickly do that to just quickly just avoid the attack. So you can pretty much use it to do more damage, or you can use it to just avoid attacks and avoid unblockables, and vice versa, and etc and etc. That's what you can use it for. It's a very amazing move. Now you can put this up here, but it will only activate from doing Cosmic Blitz, Falling, and Crescent Comet. Falling and Rising Comet and Blitz. Those are pretty much the only three it will activate from. You can't just do it by itself. I'll even show you right now. You can't do it by itself. It can only be activated when you're doing the smashes of the move, like that. It can only be activated like that. So yeah, don't put them up in there because it's not really worth it. Like, honest truth, the moves that you should only have up there in your quick slots is Cosmic Blitz and Active Wildstar. Those are really the only two moves. I have this up here, but I don't even really use it, honestly. We'll get into that in a second, but yeah, those are really the only two moves that you are going to really need in your quick slots up here. Everything else will be activated from whatever. Now, as you can see, you can switch it here, but the only other active you will be able to use here is Full Moon by itself. I have it set up to Z because I don't really use the move unless I am blocking with Eclipse, because later on the move is going to be useless. I already explained that earlier. So yeah, now the next move here is Active Wildstar. Active Wildstar pretty much does the same thing as Wildstar. If I didn't explain this, I am sorry. When you use the fourth, it really says 4 levels. Either way, when you use the 4th level of charging Wildstar, you will have the health regen effect. I'm sorry if I forgot that. You will have the health regen effect within those 5 seconds. If you get hit when you're doing Wildstar, if you get hit, you will lose that entire health, and it will cancel out the regen. It will cancel out the regen, and you'll most likely take more damage from that hit, because when you're doing Wildstar, you are very vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You can attack, of course. You can block, of course, but it's not until the hit hits. Now, usually what I say for this is that when you do Wildstar, dodge out the way as quick as possible so you can like get out the way and avoid getting hit. So I'm sorry if I forgot to talk about that. I'm going off of the top of my head like I always do. I don't have scripts for these stuff. So pretty much Active Wildstar does the same thing like Wildstar, the full charge of Wildstar, but it does do more damage, and you can use this as a quick way to get to stack Vigor, or a quick way to just go instantly into your lockdown. That's pretty much the whole use of it. Now, do know with Charge Wildstar, when you had the 4th level of Charge Wildstar and Active Wildstar, you can control it. You can curve it, and etc and etc. Let's take an example. Let's say you're aiming this way. Aiming this way. The boss is behind you. You can charge this direction and aim your key back, and Delia will do an entire U-turn to actually hit the boss. You can do it also diagonally. Like I said, it's easy to control. And the same thing with Active Wildstar. You can pretty much control it also. But yeah, Active Wildstar is pretty much just a quick way to get into your lockdown, or to just get a quick little stack of Vigor. So yeah, that's the whole point of that move there. Okay people, I think I forgot about this, but if I did, I'll put it right here in this little section. The 3rd way to activate Wildstar will be when a Karak clashes. When a Karak's clash is over and they have not done auto clash, you'll be able to do Wildstar again. There will be a different animation. You will have to press your grab key to do so. I'll have the video here showing while I'm talking. You'll have to have the you'll have to have a Karak in your party to be able to pull off this Wildstar. This Wildstar does the most damage, but you will not receive a stack of Vigor when you do it. But the trade-off for it is that it does the most damage out of Delia's Delia's 3 wild stars. So yeah, that's what I wanted to put in here real quick. Sorry that I forgot about it, but I am very tired and I did do this at 5:30. So yeah, sorry about that. Enjoy the rest of the guide. So Zenith here. Zenith is one of Delia's skills. It instantly gives you level 3 of Vigor. If you don't have level 3 of Vigor, it instantly gives you level 3 of Vigor. It does not give yeah, you receive the keen effect also, but as I said like multiple times, like it's not really that much of a useful move. You won't be really using this move a lot until you hit into season 3. And pretty much what I recommend is like if you're gonna use this move a lot, which I don't do, if you're gonna use this move a lot, you're gonna need some temporary repair kits. So yeah, that's you're gonna need some temporary repair kits so you can actually repair your armor, because this move cannot be activated if your entire armor is broken. Now there is something very stupid also about this move. This move can be activated after your transformation is done, and a lot of us know is that when your transformation is done, all of your armor is broken. But when your transformation is done, you can use this move also, and you'll pretty much have the same effects of you breaking a piece of armor, and etc, and etc, and etc. That's why this move is so stupid like that. It's kind of bootleg too, but yeah. So yeah, you can use this after you're done with your transformation. You will not be able to use it when you're transformed, of course, and pretty much that's it. The more in rank you have it, the cooldown will decrease. Also, it increases your defense and gives you 20 plus attack speed for that 60 seconds that you can use it. The requirements for it is 500 SP, which I do not use. Honestly, the majority of the time I don't really use this move. That's why it's not ranked up with me. Like, you can level this all you want. They'll have a little buff for it later on in the future, reducing the cooldown and blah blah and blah blah. But other than that, it's really not that much of a useful move. It's kind of like Herc's Berserk mode. Herc's Berserk mode, you would usually use it like once, but the requirements for it is 500 SP, which you can be using to do something else, and for them 15 seconds for that much SP, it's not worth it. Now this skill here is actually worth it, but you won't be using it that much. You'll probably only use it once a raid, and when the effects is done, you're gonna lose defense and you're gonna go back to your normal base attack speed. So use this at your own cost. Also, it has invincibility frames. If you activate it in the first animation, when her armor is broken, you'll have iframes. Do know the animation for it ends when she touches her sword. Simple. So yeah, that's pretty much the moves here. I'll have videos playing so y'all can see everything, and just have some examples here and everything else. So yeah, you can pretty much put your moves into other moves, blah blah, etc and etc. You'll master everything else once you play the character more. Yeah, you'll master everything else once you play the character more. But yeah, you can change you could chain into your normals, you could chain into your smashes and also your actives. Very, very simple. Now, we're gonna go into the last thing, because I know people are gonna ask me this. What artifact should you get? The only artifact you should get is a cat statue. The reason for that is because every single one of Delia's move, you could argue with me or not, every single one of Delia's moves do require SP. And with having a cat statue, it gives you 250 SP, which is one entire bar of SP. You are going to be needing to use that SP. That's why I say go and get a cat statue, because that is the only artifact you'll need. I know there's going to be people that are going to argue being like, but I like speed. Yes, you can have speed for 20 seconds, or you could have SP that you can add on more SP and be able to do your maximum damage. And like, there are gonna be other people that are gonna complain, be like, oh, but I do enough damage to get SP. Sure, good for you, but if you don't have this move, you won't be able to put out maximum damage. Now, if you can see my attack right now. Let me show you my attack. My attack is 21.7. 21.7. There are people that have joined in boats that have 26 to 27k, and I come out with top deeps. You want to know how I come out with top deeps? Because I have a mysterious cat statue and I am doing every single move to get the maximum damage that is required for you to play this character and everything else. Now, there are a lot of people that don't have cat statues because they are too lazy to do PvP. I'm sorry for you. You gotta catch it when people are doing PvP to actually get your artifacts anyway. So if you're gonna go for a werewolf paw, or pretty much a succubus fang and vice versa, and etc, then pretty much you can be smart and just get a mysterious cat statue, because SP is required to fully play this character. To put out maximum damage, you are going to need SP, and if you don't have a cat statue, you won't have that SP. The same thing with Kai and pretty much Staff Eevee. The majority of them have cat statues because what they need SP to do the majority of their moves. Simple much as that. So like that, there is no point in you getting a werewolf paw because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Them 20 seconds that you could use, you could just get your SP and you can just do maximum damage with the character. Now I know my crit sucks. Don't be on me about my crit. I know my crit sucks. I don't have a lot of rank 7s on my gear to actually get more crit. I don't have a lot of stuff on my gear to actually get that. I plan to get everything when I'm around level 90. I do got 2 fasts on my on my Eevee. I plan to send those over to my Delia and try to put them on my accessories. Now, right now the moment, the way how things are going, you can get a lot of balance. So you can pretty much put 2 or 3 fasts on your accessories and you'll still have around the 80 balance, of course, because around 85 and higher is really what is required for you to do at least some damage and consistent damage. But yeah, you can do that. Now I'm gonna go with 2 fasts on my gear, so that's pretty much gonna put my balance down to 87. And I know it's 88 right there. I will put Enthu on my pants and that should give me an extra 90 something attack. I mean a 90 something balance. And pretty much since I'm gonna lose 16 balance, it is gonna be around 80 something. It won't be 85 and lower, which will be great. And I'm happy with that. I'll hit 62 attack speed right now. And plus if I get more stuff on my gear, I'll hit like 65 and vice versa and etc. Now, to play efficient with Delia, you're gonna need at least 50 attack speed and higher. Lower than that and you're going to be playing the character too slow, and a lot of your moves you won't be able to do them. The majority of the time you will be dodging because you won't be able to get off your move right away. So what I recommend is plussing up your weapon, getting some scrolls, put them on your gear and your weapon. Now, this is the cheapest way to do stuff right now, honestly, because Righteous is expensive as hell because Delia's release. I recommend going with a Leopard Valor. I do really I say go with a Leopard Valor because it's the easiest things to get right now. But if you can get a Bloodlust, by all means get the Bloodlust to get the extra 1 attack speed, which honestly is not really that muchly required. With a Valor you have +5 balance and +4 attack speed. With a Bloodlust you have +5 attack speed and plus is either 3 or 4 balance, which is not really necessarily needed. But if you really want attack speed, then by all means go with that. But usually I would just recommend right now for people who don't have a lot of gold and for people who just want to save gold, go with a Leopard. Just go with a Leopard. Leopard gives you +8 attack speed, an extra 2 balance, but you do lose 140 attack. Magic, sorry about that, you lose 240 magic and 240 magic or attack. So that's an alternative. Now if you can get a Righteous, then by all means go with a Righteous Valor. A lot of people just go with Righteous Valor because it does give you a good balance of everything else. If you go with a Righteous Immoral, you're pretty much losing attack speed, but pretty much at the same time it is all based on you and your preference. So yeah, that goes into the artifacts there. Only get a mysterious cat statue and you're set for life. Now everything else self-explanatory in training. Just don't mess with these two. Unless you're never on like that, then by all means rank that up. But intelligence, no. Self-explanatory, everything else. Self-explanatory, everything else. Max up battle respiration because you are going to be running out of stamina a whole lot. And stamina, self-explanatory, more stamina means more time to attack. Now, equipment, the last thing, equipment. Now, people are going to ask, what armor should I go for around the levels? For level 60, we're going to keep it simple. For level 60, you can pretty much stick with the level 50 armor for Delia, or you can go with the level 60 armor for her. I'll have them on the screen so you can see them. Now, for level 70, you can either go with the Apocryphal, which I am going with right now. I have all Apex, or you can go with the Champion. I'll have a picture up there also showing it. You can go with those two sets. Now, if you can't get full Apex, I recommend going pants, shoes, and gloves Apex, and top and helmet Everlasting. That is another set that people go with. If you want to go with that, then by all means go with that. Now, level 80, everybody usually goes with pirate set because it gives you the most benefits, and if you got a pirate set, you'll never have to worry about getting level 90 armor. Simple much as that. Pirate is all light. No, it is 4 pieces light and 1 piece heavy. Now, I know they had an update that has made it so every character can wear the same armor unless it's meant for that specific gender, but there will be another pirate set that will be all light that is meant for magic based characters. Do not go for that. There is a difference between the two. One gives you more attack and one just takes away attack. If you want to see that, then by all means click Control or Shift. Yeah, click Shift and you'll pretty much see the stats compared to whatever you have on. So that's simple much on that. And then pretty much level 90, most people would go 2 pieces Regina and everything else Lou, or 2-piece Regina and everything else Terminants. Or people would just go full Terminants for monster attack speed. So those are pretty much what you can do. Those are pretty much the sets, the armor, and everything else. And pretty much everything else is self-explanatory. If you want to get better gear, then by all means rank up your equipment gear here. So pretty much, people, that is the Delia guide. Hopefully this has helped you out. This is actually a lot simpler and faster than how I did it last time. Of course, this is 36 minutes, but it might be cut a little bit towards the end and the beginning. But either way, that is pretty much Delia. That's explaining her moves, how to do certain things. Do know you're gonna have to master the buffering, the guard buffering. Once you get that down, you'll be able to cancel everything. So yeah, once you get that down, you'll be able to cancel everything. I love doing that, people. I love doing that. It's the same thing like with Herc's instant blockade. So yeah, people, that is the Delia guide. Hopefully this has helped you out. I've done this about 7 times already and I'm tired. As you can see, it's about to hit 6 a.m. in the next 25 minutes, and I got a lot of things I have to do first before I knock out. So either way, hopefully this Delia guide has helped you out to become a better Delia. And pretty much, people, this is my final character guide on the game. At the moment, I don't know if I'll come back and make another guide when the other 3 characters are planning to be released, but I don't see that happening for another 2 years, because right now we are just getting the bosses now. And plus, the newest boss that was in test servers in KR is a bitch. You'll need at least 27 and 27 attack and 20k to actually survive in that raid. I plan to get that in the future with my level 90 armor. I'm gonna go for plus 15 because plus 15 is the dream. So either way, that is it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. I will see y'all in my next video, people. And yeah, people, hopefully this helped you out, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.